The impeachment of the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is both legal and political, because Rigathi Gachagua is a politician, William Ruto is a politician, and we all know that there are sharp differences between Rigathi and his boss, just like we had those differences between Uhuru Kenyatta and William Samoei Ruto. And it is illegal because the drafters of the constitution had envisaged a situation where we would want to get rid of our deputy president. And it has been set out very explicitly what the threshold that should be met before you present a case or a motion to impeach a state officer, including the president, deputy, and the cabinet secretaries, even judges. And Rigathi Gachagua reads mischief, even as members of parliament sign and pen their signatures to ousted him, and that bill is supposed to be tabled tomorrow, Tuesday. Rigathi feels that his boss is being unfair, number one, because his boss had suffered under the leadership of Uhuru. That is what he tells us, even though we know what happened. And the boss had said that he would not subject his deputy to such predicaments. Now, Rigathi Gachagua, as at yesterday, had got a lot of hopes that if Parliament is going to be misused to impeach him, then he would seek for legal redress in the courts of justice. Already, there's a young man, a UDA youth leader from Laikipia, who had run to court to stop the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. Today, Cleopas Malala, a man who was picked by William Ruto and made the UDA Secretary General, shocked many because he has decamped Ruto and is serving Rigathi Gachagua, and it said that that could be the main reasons why he was ousted from the party. So Malala rushed to court and he wanted to stop the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. His argument was that Parliament, as currently constituted, does not meet the 2/3 gender rule, and therefore it has got no mandate to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. And I thought maybe that was valid. The only thing that baffles me is that even though Parliament has not does not reach the threshold of a 2/3 gender rule, they have been making laws, and Cleopas Malala has never rushed to court. Now, I want you to listen to Rigathi Gachagua as he really exhibited a lot of hope that Kenya is governed by the rule of law, and therefore some 200 people can not sit somewhere to impeach a person who was elected by millions of Kenyans. And from the expression, he had a lot of hopes that in any case, Parliament serves him within condemns him to impeachment, then he would seek that redress to court. Can't you listen to him?
Rais William Ruto alionewa huruma na watu wa Mount Kenya sana kwa sababu ya kuteswa. Na hakuwa mtoto hapa, lakini watu hapa walimuonea huruma sana na wakaamua kukufa na yeye. Sasa kama walionea mtoto wa mbali huruma, mtoto wao akiteswa, unafikiria wanasikiaje? Mimi naambia tu wajumbe tu wakuwe waangalifu, waulize hii wa Meru, hii wa Embu, hii wa Tharaka kama wanafurahia mtoto wao akiteswa, na kama wangependelea mtoto wao aibishwe, afukuzwe aende nyumbani. Lakini pia Kenya nchi ya sheria. Si rahisi. Si rahisi vile unafikiria. Ati utafukuza mtu amechaguliwa na watu milioni 7 ati mkutana watu 200 tu aende nyumbani namna hiyo. Hii ni nchi ya sheria na iko sheria Kenya ambayo inaheshimu demokrasia na inaheshimu uamuzi wa wananchi. Ni muhimu sana.
Now, the High Court that Malala rushed to try and stop the impeachment motion really gave him bad news, because it is reported that High Court declines to stop Parliament from tabling impeachment motion against Rigathi Gachagua, and I just want us to have a glimpse of what happened as it is reported, so that we delve into this issue, because I believe Gachagua is a worried man. It is recorded here that the High Court has declined to issue orders stopping Parliament from processing an impeachment motion against Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. It further says that the motion filed by ex-Senator Cleopas Malala sought to bar the National Assembly and the Senate from tabling, debating, considering, or acting upon any motion seeking to oust DP Rigathi Gachagua. Malala argued that both houses lack the required two-thirds gender rule threshold and therefore have breached the constitutional provisions. Dismissing the petition, Justice Bahati Mwamuye directed that the National Assembly and Parliament to serve their rejoinders by Thursday, October 3rd, 2024. By that time, Rigathi's fate shall have been known, whether he shall have survived the impeachment or he shall have been condemned to go home. So basically, even without reading further, this is a blow to Rigathi Gachagua, because as we had earlier, he had got hopes and faith in the judiciary, and that's why he was saying that Kenya is a country of the rule of law. One might even ask, do you believe that it is Rigathi Gachagua who is now talking of the rule of law? And I remember when people went to the streets, Rigathi was really tough. And he was talking about people who go to the street during the Gen Zs, not Gen Zs, but during the Azimio demonstrations. Rigathi said that even though that is within the constitution, the Azimio fraternity was only hell-bent on making sure that their businesses collapsed. He didn't realize then that there is freedom of picketing that is envisaged in the constitution, demonstration, and now he's talking about the rule of law. I like our politicians. Whenever they have been cornered, whenever they are now facing predicaments, they now run to the constitution, they quote that which they don't even believe in. They say, what is good for the goose is good for the gander. Kwa Kiswahili niliambiwa, mkuki kwa nguruwe kwa binadamu ni chungu. But ladies and gentlemen, this is a blow to Rigathi Gachagua. Why do you think it really baffles and it's really painful to Rigathi Gachagua? Does he have any reasons to worry after the High Court declined to stop Parliament to stop the impeachment motion? There are a lot of worries. Number one, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing that should worry Rigathi Gachagua is state capture. When they were campaigning in 2022, they had complained that the executive arm of the government, especially, they were accusing Uhuru Kenyatta that he had captured all the independent institutions. In fact, Rigathi was saying that the DCI used to come very early in the morning to pick him up on charges that were only choreographed on him. And they were saying that Parliament was also captured. You know, they used to complain. Now, when you see courts declining, and of course it was a very clever move, the court did not decline. Instead, the judge extended all this to Friday or something, Friday, October. And you know, that shall have passed the exercise that will happen in Parliament. So Rigathi is worried. Could there be state capture in Parliament? Of course, we all know that the executive arm of the government has captured Parliament, the judiciary, sort of, the DPP, the anti-corruption, or the ESCC, the DCI, even the members who signed the impeachment motion we were being told that they were bribed. They rubber stamped what William Ruto wanted. And so it worries Rigathi Gachagua that I'm dealing with a parliament that has been captured, and I'm dealing with a court. Could I be dealing with a court that has been captured? Could they be acting in the best interest of William Samoei Ruto? Because if it is that, then he's doomed. It is expected that he might not have the numbers in parliament because parliament has been pocketed. Now he was expecting that in the event that parliament acts Ruto's script, then he will move to the courts. Now, if the courts have been captured, it is over for him. So it is state capture. Number two, he is uncertain because, as I said, there is uncertainty. He was like, if I'm defeated in parliament, I will run to court. Now, the uncertainty after the impeachment is real, because Rigathi knew very well. That's why he was saying, we live in a country that is governed by the rule of law. Many expect that this case would end up in the Supreme Court. And when the High Court starts by, this is a clear dismissal. He has been dismissed. And from where he is, he's really thinking. He knows what they did in 2022. You know what happened. And so if that reality is now dawning on him, that these people could be acting to please William Ruto, then it is bad. After he's impeached, where will he go? The only avenue, the only channel is the Supreme Court. If they begin like this, then there's a lot of worries. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that verdict is one that is not only worrying Rigathi Gachagua, but I believe that the family of Rigathi Gachagua, I believe the supporters of Rigathi Gachagua, I believe the leaders that support him. You know, as we speak, there are charges that have been leveled against his allies. People like Major Dong, people like Honorable Gakuya, the former members of parliament like George Deuri and Gunjiri Wambugu. So if William Ruto has blocked Rigathi Gachagua in parliament, then he seals, judiciary, then Rigathi will go home. The only thing that he might have now is to go and start campaigning. Let me tell you another thing that is worrying him. After impeachment, the only way is to maybe to go and continue traversing Mount Kenya to ensure that he galvanizes the support base there. But now, if William Ruto captures the judiciary, then you know what will happen is, after the ouster in parliament, then they might open charges. I've always reminded you that the Director General of the National Intelligence Service, Nordin Haji, while responding to Rigathi's allegations that he's incompetent, told him, because when Rigathi was hosting, a presser in Mombasa, he said that they were elected by William Samoei Ruto. They were elected together with William Samoei Ruto. But Nordin Haji told him that we have got your files. And when, in any case, the cover that you have as a deputy is removed from you, then you will know that it is difficult to fight as a civilian. And with that, from where I sit, I personally believe that they might decide to frustrate Rigathi Gachagua with court cases. Why court cases? He will use a lot of money because Ruto knows very well that Rigathi is rich and sustaining campaigns needs money. So they will drag him through the court so that he pays lawyers and all that. Number two, when you are frustrated and you're going from one, court to the other, then you are painted as a sellout. You are painted as someone who betrayed the country. You don't even have, they also derive you the time to campaign because that is the only thing that Rigathi has. Now, they might also end up locking him behind the bars. And this depends on the relationship with the court. So Rigathi is worried. They might decide after impeachment, they jail him. So the verdict that was given today is one that is going to cause Rigathi Gachagua sleepless nights. It has been really scared.